for Davy Crockett.
Alright, well I guess you guys are all here to hear the story of Davy Crockett. We're here at the Alamo right now. I was born in Greene County, Tennessee in 1786. My family, frontiersmen, where I pretty much learned everything. Make the dollars. My dad drove cattle, which is also what I did as my first job. I was young as 12 years old, driving cows all the way up to Virginia, just to, help my family get along. We were pretty self-sufficient, and as when we lived in the backcountry of Tennessee, but we eventually moved to the Holston River, where my dad opened up a tavern, which is where I also worked, and that's how that's where I acquired where I knew how to lead and figured everything out. At about 20 years old, I heard about in Alabama and northern Tennessee, the Creek Indians terrorizing the settlers there, and these savage raids going on. So I joined the militia with a couple of friends, and we served under General Andrew Jackson, which is the first time I met him. Cause I was so good with a rifle and my woodsman skills, he put me in a scouting platoon where at one point, when rations were cut off, I had to feed the whole platoon with meat from the game that I killed. After we settled down the Indians and negotiated peace, because the war was not working out for them, I met Polly Finley at age 20, and we got married and had 2 kids. She got struck with chloria a couple years later, and I lost her. Then a friend suggested I run for legislature. I never really was too sure about it at first, considering I had to spend more than 100 days in school, always drifting out, getting kicked out of fights, so I could barely sign my name at the time. And but I did run. I didn't get elected my first time, but the second time around I decided I wanted to go again, and I was a little more experienced, so I got in the legislature. I served 3 terms there, where I was pretty well liked. Within a couple of weeks of being in the legislature, I did start to get myself educated, and I could write very well. They say I became a master with the word. I didn't run for a 4th term. I was pretty much done with it, and at this point I moved into the real backcountry of Tennessee, where my closest neighbor was 7 miles. I pretty much just hunted every day, and that's where I really toned my skills with a rifle. And this was with my new wife, Elizabeth Crockett at the time, and she had 3 kids because she was a widow, and so I had 5 sons at the time, and took a different one out with me hunting every day. I ran for Congress after being urged again by more friends I had, and I was elected my first time I tried. At the time, Andrew Jackson was the current president, so he helped me a lot, and I learned a lot about politics from him. But he turned out to be the downfall of my political career. He had the Indian Removal Act was one of his biggest ideas, and my opposition to savagely removing thousands of Native Americans from the places they've lived for thousands of years, and he wanted to just send them to random reservations out in nowhere. And I didn't like that very much, and that ended in me getting pushed out of politics by the president himself, and killed my aspirations of one day holding the presidency. But throughout my career, I always made sure I was the most honest man I could be. I never took any bribes. Nobody could change what I thought, and I voted the way I wanted to all the time. After I was done with Congress, the hunting never really appealed to me much anymore, and I started hunting. I wrote my autobiography at that point, and I took a trip to the East Coast, which is one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. I started out. I had my first train ride, which was amazing, and I've never seen as many people as I've seen. And I gave a speech in Boston where 5,000 people turned out to see me talk. It was absolutely incredible. I visited Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I really liked the sights, and I came back to Tennessee, and within a couple of months of that, I heard about what was going on down here in Texas, where the Mexicans were kind of oppressing the people down here and making them live under their rules. And so, my goal to fight tyranny wherever it is. Me and a couple of friends, I came down here with a couple of my Tennessee boys, and we're here with you in the Alamo. Maybe not. We don't look like we have good odds right now, but that's all right. We know there's about 5,000 Mexicans over the wall here, and 188 of us in here. But I've never run from a fight my whole life. When I was 13, I got kicked out of one of the schools. I beat up a boy twice my size. I even, while I was in Congress, as I said before, I fought the President of the United States for one of his policies. And right now, there are 5,000 guys over that fence that probably don't know what they're doing and are fighting for being afraid of their general and what he might do. But I know we have 180 patriots in here that are going to fight to the death to protect this land that they love. And they're afraid over there. I hear rumors of them going around. Davy Crockett, you can shoot the buzzard off a bear at 1,000 yards. Well, I don't know about 1,000 yards, but hold on. Ay, Dios mío! Apparently 500 yards is close enough for a Mexican soldier. All I can ask you guys, any of you are free to leave when you want, because the chances don't look too good for us. But I know you guys love this place as much as I do, and you'll all stay. And all I can ask is that you bring down as many of these Mexicans as you can because we have Sam Houston behind us a couple miles back, and he's actually given us orders to abandon this fort because he needs the cannons, and he says we don't stand a chance. But I don't believe that, and I know we're going to try our best. We can hold back these the Mexicans and keep them off. So looks like they're coming now.